Alrighty, welcome into Chalk Talk Social. It is Tuesday, December 30th, and Iman's repping the Ravens jersey after they spanked my Packers. Yeah, I hope you're feeling really good about that. I hope you feel really good about that. I mean, we'll get into that game, obviously, but hey, something we got to call off out the jump here because it goes back to maybe I think our very first episode with Eagles Shirley on the show, and we were talking about Jalen Hurts and Dak, and here it is. The Eagles just beat the Bills in a game where Jalen Hurts has zero passing yards in the second half of game. Pretty much just, confirming a lot of priors about like, hey, he is not the reason the Eagles win. Enough of this, yeah, Jalen Hurts is a winner talk. They quite literally don't need him to do anything. They can still win a football game. Iman, what's going on?
Hey, Austin, I'm telling y'all now, people going to have to start listening to me when I start giving my critique on football players. I've been watching this game I played that position at a high level. I coached it at a high level. I know what I'm looking at. And granted, he had one good ball that went through Devontae Smith's hands, but they had a total of 17 yards. And I don't want to hear this guy is top five. There's no top five quarterback. It's only having total aside. Don't give me no weather because Josh Allen had 17 fucking yards on one play. So I'm gonna keep saying it. I love Jalen Hurts, what he represents, who he is as an athlete. He's calm, not calm. I love what he's accomplished, and I salute him. But when we're talking about quarterback play, he's not good. He's and I think it's so dumbed down now, Austin. I was telling somebody the other day the athletic quarterback has killed the quarterback position because now if you just that's what I'm saying. If you just can run a little bit, they think you're a good quarterback, and I'm like, no. I grew up off the Dan Marinos, Troy Aikman. Guys wasn't trying to run.
Statues.
Steve Young knew that I had to stop running and get the ball to Jerry Rice if I want to win. So I just, but yes, Eagle Shirley, Jalen Hurts fucking sucks. And I mean, y'all lucky y'all got an A1 defense and Carter that can
good coaching.
Just play hard because blocking the extra point makes a difference in the game. But you got big time players that play the whole time. But hey. You see it.
Yeah.
I mean, even though we was minus him, but I mean,
dirty flock with your dirty Ravens.
I
dirty
can only
Lamar
get
jersey.
one on you this year, Austin. This is the only one when I can come and brag. You had to know I was coming. We here.
Whatever.
We here.
Whatever. You and Butter both. We ain't friends anymore until Packers beat the Ravens and return this curse. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Malik Willis made him some money though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, yep.
He made him some money.
Yep, his bag got fat that night. That's for sure. That is for sure. Well, he's gonna come up later. And Malik Wilson will come up later.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll into that. And look, folks, I'm just saying,
some money.
Yup, and stay around to the end or fast forward to the end, whatever you want to do, because we've been talking about doing this debate, the Shaq versus Jokic dominance debate, and I know what Iman's stance is on it, and I know what my stance is on it, and I know it's going to be a contentious conversation, so stick around to the end for that when we're going to do a little bit of basketball talk, but it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's the top 10 in 10. We're going to do our best to keep it under 10 minutes. We usually don't, but sometimes we do, and that's the fun. Anyway, so let's kick off. Let's get into it. The top 10 in 10. Number 1, the Michigan Wolverines go out and hire Kyle Whittingham as their next head coach, taking over for the Wolverines out of Utah. In his tenure with the Utah Utes, he finishes, I think it was 20-something odd seasons, 22 seasons. He gets 177 wins. He's got 2 Pac-12 titles after they came over from the Mountain West, so he led them into that transition as well. And he's a holder of a perfect 13-0 season, right? And, there's a lot of debate. Well, is he the right hire? Is he not? Look, Whittingham's identity as a coach matches exactly what Michigan wants to do as a program. Defensive-minded, disciplined, and tough, gritty as all hell. That is the mentality he's bringing to this team. He's got a track record of winning with a lot less. Utah has never been known to be landing recruits, and they're always a winning football program through, just like I said, being very disciplined and extremely competitive teams. They had a track record of beating his rivals too. And I know Michigan's tired of getting little brothered by Ohio State, and until BYU started just pouring money into football where Utah did not, he had like a 9-game win streak on BYU, who was their number one like rival. So he can beat his rivals. And now he's got all the resources in the world with Michigan. He brings tremendous experience and staying power that not many coaches around have anymore. And he might be one of the most likable, cleaned up acts in the coaching space, which, hey, let's be honest, after the Sharon Moore stuff, that's exactly what Michigan needs right now, is that type of dude in the locker room leading the team. Feels like the perfect hire to, again, just cleanse Michigan of its recent demons, get them back on track, and now he's got enough time to win over recruits and the program before the season starts. What's number 2?
Number 2, we still alive. We still alive. My Baltimore Ravens got a big win this Sunday over Austin's Green Bay Packers. 41-24 behind a historic, and I mean Hall of Fame day for King Derrick Henry with 216 yards on the ground on 36 carries and get it four touchdowns, which move him into the top 10 of rushing all time. Also giving him the most games of 200 plus in the season. 7. He moved past Adrian Peterson that had 6. We had a discussion earlier about, is Derrick Henry a Hall of Famer? Is he one of the greatest? He is closing all debates on that. Mm-hmm. And what John Harbaugh, big head ass, need to do next week, because we could have already been in good position if you just would have did this last week. Next week, run him 44 times. If we want to win, 44 times. We need to run Derrick Henry 44 times, but we got a little pulse, Austin. We got this much pulse. We there. We win and we in next week. I was panicking a couple weeks ago, but I'm back. They gave me CPR. Yeah. Good job. Flock, baby!
Yeah, and my soul is dead. Anyways, next, the Bills fall to the Eagles, despite, like we had talked about, 0 second half yards passing from Jalen Hurts. The Bills they went for 2 to win the game. They were down 13-12. They decided, hey, we're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Josh Allen rolls out. He had Khalil Shakir in the back of the end zone, and for being a perennial MVP candidate, that was as bad of a throw that you could possibly make, to miss Shakir as bad as he did. The Bills end up losing that game. He just simply threw a crap pass. But the Bills become now the first team to ever win their division for 5 or more straight seasons and not make a Super Bowl. So a lot of implications this offseason about what's going to happen in reshaping this franchise, because that Super Bowl window is inching towards shut at this point. And like we said, tough night for the Jalen Hurts as a winner crowd, right? This game all but proved he's just along for the ride in a luxury car with really good parts all around it. He's not even in the front seat of that car, and nobody gives a damn where he's sitting in that car, or if, someone comes in and takes his spot in that car. That's kind of where we're at with the Jalen Hurts experience, and this game was really a cap around that whole debate. What's next?
Yay, area! Bang, bang, Niner game. San Francisco pulls out a shootout win, 42-38 over the Chi-Town Bears. This was, Austin, my best game I've seen all year. Not best game of all time, but this was the best offensive output that I've seen all year from two teams. I mean, both teams combined for 927 yards, 58 first downs, combined 80 points. Baby, if you bet the over on points, you got paid this weekend. Not only that, Brock Purdy is starting to show people that, hey, that money they paid me, I'm starting to look like an elite guy in the game. His past 3 games, he is lighting it up. He went 24 for 33, 303 yards, 3 tuds. And I got to say, that one play where he threw the 44 in the corner, that was one of the greatest plays I've seen. He made 2 defenders miss and got to the line. The other 2 guys came up. He dropped it. That was one of the best plays I've seen all year. But not to be outdid, because Caleb Williams had a good game, going 25 for 42, 330 yards. He still got a problem with missing some wide open receivers. But listen, 49ers are looking like a tough out in the NFC, especially if our guy Run CMC is going to continue to just rack up yards. He went for 140 yards on 23 carries. He had 4 receptions for 41. This is making his third season over 2,000 plus yards from scrimmage, which passed on LaDainian Tomlinson, who is a Hall of Fame running back. So, no, I don't think Christian McCaffrey yet, and I know this may sound weird, is Hall of Fame yet, because he's had 4 good seasons, and then he's been hurt like 3 seasons. So I think he has to do this for 2 more, then he'll be a Hall of Fame. But hey, them bang bang 49er gang gonna be a tough out in the playoff if Brock Purdy's gonna play like this and CMC is healthy. I wouldn't bet against him.
Nope.
Point blank, period.
Nope. And Fred Warner might be back for the playoffs, and that's terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah. So speaking of guys who've been playing at an MVP level, Drake Maye caps off his MVP caliber season with a dominant game. Yes, it's against the Jets, but in the effort, the Patriots go on and reclaim the AFC East for the first time since 2019. He finishes this game, man, I've lost track of all the accolades and benchmarks for Drake Maye months ago, but he finishes this game with the first ever game with a 90% or greater completion percentage and 250 plus passing yards and 5 touchdowns. Never been done before. Drake Maye just did it. 90% completion. Insane. Again, like I said, it is the Jets. It is his final argument bid for the MVP. It's a great one. And like I said, his historic sophomore season was as good as it gets. He becomes the first player ever to have over 4,200 pass yards with over 30 or more passing touchdowns, with 110 plus passer rating, with 400 plus rushing yards, with 4 rushing touchdowns or more. Those are just weird numbers, but he's the only one who's ever done it, and that's got to mean something. They went 8-0 on the road this season, only the 3rd time they've ever done that in franchise history. And you know the Patriots are good again when they got white dudes you've never heard of making plays, and that was happening again. That's a signal. That's a sign the Patriots are all the way back. That is a staple for that team. What's next?
Next, we have the Thunder is clearly got a kryptonite in the NBA right now, and that is the San Antonio Spurs. Listen, clearly the San Antonio Spurs have the Thunder's number, but I also think they just match up better. This year, they beat them 3 times now, more than anybody in the NBA this year, and these past 12 games, the Spurs are a 10-2. Clearly, I just think the matchup that Spurs have guards like Castle, Vessel, Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox that can match up with anybody on the Thunder side. And clearly, I don't know if people are seeing it. Victor Wembanyama hates Chet Holmgren. I don't know what their beef is, but it's like he plays just lights out when he plays against Chet. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if Chet said something to him before or they keep comparing Chet's game to his game, but clearly every time he plays against that guy, he is on another level. Do I think the Spurs will beat the Thunder team in a 7-game series? No. But I think they'll have the best chance in the West to knock them off because, like I said, they match up well. They have a whole bunch of athletic guards, tall wings with Harrison Barnes that can match up against the Thunder. But I still don't think they made that leap to being the best team in the West. So I just think it's regular season. Thunder will get to another level in the playoffs. So we will see if it's just regular season or they're officially the Thunder's kryptonite. But I don't think so.
Nah, well, maybe they're hot. Yeah. Keep it in the NBA. Hey, a lot of rumors around my guy Giannis, always are. And he just comes out and pretty much shuts down the trade rumor mill once again. And the Bucs once again just commit to being competitive and remaining competitive and making the moves necessary. And I got to start. Hey, first of all, how about that nasty windmill dunk Giannis threw down on the Bulls when the game was already over? You know what? It almost caused a brawl. It's because it's one of those unwritten rules where, hey, game's over, you don't do that. But look, Giannis, one of the most lovable superstars ever. And then he comes out and doubles down on that. He posts a picture of him doing the windmill dunk on social media, and he captions it, "I ain't no painter, but you get the picture." So hell yeah, Giannis, be the freak like that and let the people know that we're back up. Maybe the Bucs are trying to climb back. We're kind of back up right now. Look, y'all wanted Giannis in a big market, and instead you end up, getting Giannis doing a full heel turn now. He's playing pissed off. He's looking like as motivated as ever to turn things around in Milwaukee. And if that's, it was bound to happen. You're going to get the Giannis heel turn. And it seems like we've hit that moment. He comes out and he says to a reporter after one of the games, He says, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Don't ask me that question. I'm here. It's disrespectful towards myself and my teammates. I wear that jersey every single day. Disrespectful towards my organization, my coaching staff, and all the people that work hard for me to come out here and say, I don't want to be here. Don't ask me that question. I'm here. I'm putting on the jersey. And as long as I'm here, I'm going to give everything I have, even in the last second of every game, obviously referring to the windmill dunk when it was already done. And then the Bucs come out. There's rumors that they're trying to go out and get maybe Jeremy Grant from Portland or Malik Monk or Zach LaVine in an effort to try to build something around Giannis. I hope they don't give up Ryan Rollins. He's a really, really nice piece. I think the Bucs got some talent there. What's next?
Before I go there, people need to stop being soft. I'm allowed to play to the top, to the clock hit zero. I don't care. Football, that's what I'm saying. Football, basketball, baseball, I play to it hit zero. So stop being
refreshing.
soft.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, man. So it is what it is. All right. We're at 8. Mr. Jalen Brunson has climbed to 5th in the MVP race. Listen, he's been on a tear. The past 10 games, he's been leading the Knicks to a 9-1 record, averaging 32.6 per game. Listen, the last 3 games, he had 34, 34, and 47. Not only that, he's the only point guard in the league this year to score 30 points and not from the free throw line. He's not on that James Harden shoot 30 free throws. No. All buckets. If buckets had a name, it would be Jalen Brunson at this point. No, I won't think he will rise any higher in the MVP vote because he just got a lot of other guys ahead of him. But clearly, this is the year that I think Jalen Brunson can take the Knicks to the next level and make a championship run if he continues to play like this. But listen, Jalen Brunson been this way since Dallas, which also lets you look at Nico Harris letting this guy out the door. Imagine him and today's Luka on that team. You're such an idiot. But shout out to Jalen Brunson on this MVP run that he's been on these past few games. Keep going, Mr. Lefty.
You could build an all-star roster with the dudes that Nico Harris let go in Dallas. Wow, that is crazy. Speaking of dominant NBA players, Nikola Jokic, the Joker, his dominant start is now putting, a lot of folks are talking about, is his season along the all-time best of maybe centers or just players ever. So, right, we go back to Christmas. He's coming off that 56-point triple-double against the Timberwolves in OT. He now this season leads the NBA in most 50-point games, in triple doubles, true shooting percentage, and player efficiency rating. The guy's shooting freaking 60% for a dude who sprays it around the entire court from deep, mid, close. What now? He's now got 27 triple doubles at the time of this recording. He's 27 triple doubles away from Russell Westbrook's career record now. He's got, and this is the crazy part, of his 16 triple doubles this season, 10 of them came in 3 quarters. That's insane. Now he's coming off a season. You remember last season, he became one of the 3 players ever to average a triple-double in a season, which is insane in itself. And somehow he's now looking better and playing more efficient, which is nuts that he's playing this good. He's runaway MVP right now, as good as Shai Gilgeous has been. What's next?
Hey, last but not least, y'all know I love my track. I'm going to go into my high school track. Mr. Quincy Wilson opened up in the 300 this weekend in New York at the Hispanic Games, and this guy opened up 32.94 in the 300, which makes that one of the fastest times in high school history. And understand, this is his first 300 of the indoor season. He's probably going to run 4 or 5. A guy that's already the national record holder in the 600, national record holder in the 500, national record holder in the 400, national record holder in the 4x2, national record holder in the 4x4, and clearly the youngest Olympic gold medalist of all time. He probably going to own every sprint national record before this year is out. So shout out to my guy opening up 32.94. That's insane. That's his first 300 of the year. We talk about people don't do that the first game, first meet, first anything out. He literally broke the national record his first meet out. So shout out to Quincy Wilson and the Bullets team. Good God Almighty. Listen, if he runs 31 in high school.
You brought him up. This is the guy you brought up last time, yeah?
Yes, but he just keeps moving the bar, and I don't know where to stop with it because every time he steps on the track, he just electrifies the nation. And I just got to keep saying it because it's unheard of what he's doing.
Well, it's going to stop with a gold medal on a podium in a big stadium. That's where it's going to stop.
You better believe it.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, Joey's not here, so we can get into it to kind of kick off the rest of the show here. So Joey's not here, so we'll cover his Bears stuff real quick. There's not a ton to cover. Obviously, they've lost, but you kind of brought up Caleb Williams, and so let's. I want to say this because you mentioned on Caleb Williams that he's still missing some throws, right? He's still struggling to find a way to have an acceptable completion percentage in any given game. But the thing I will say about Caleb Williams, it feels like we're seeing more and more throws on a weekly basis that make you wonder if we are like witnessing the very early stages of the next elite, great arm talent, best arm talent in the sport. If anyone didn't see that ball he threw to Colston Loveland, that touchdown that he threw on a rope halfway down the field, there was like no airtime on that ball. It was a free play. That thing was to Loveland in like 2 seconds, and that was a half the field. So he's making just the throws that, as a Packers fan, are terrifying to see. It looks. I'm not comparing. This is not a comparison. But there's some throws he's making there that, like, I've been on the right side of those type of throws with Aaron Rodgers being my quarterback forever. And it really seems like shit being on the other side of that. He's making some throws, man. Hey, Luther Burden, when they drafted him, I was pissed. I wanted him nowhere near the NFC North unless he was going to be in Green Bay. And like, he looks like he's going to be like the Amon-Ra St. Brown in that offense. He's got like superstar written all over him. Obviously, Colston Loveland breakout game here. We all laughed. I was one who laughed when they drafted him with a top 10 pick, because, like, bro, that's a tight end. You have to use a fifth year option on a tight end now too. He's not even the best one in this class, which now there's more debate sparked on, like, the people who are deep within the league and league circles like that. There was a lot closer, like Loveland and Tyler Warren were a lot closer than, like, the fans on the outside really pictured him to be. Different types of football players. And man, and with a Ben Johnson offense, we saw what he did with Sam Laporta and how great Sam Laporta was in Detroit. He's getting out with Colston Loveland now too. So, hey, 49ers, that's the last thing I'll say on the 49ers too, is obviously CMC's, having the historic run. But for the fact that this team has been playing with a JV defense all year, and they've been banged up on the offensive side, they're rotating between Purdy and Mac Jones with injury. Like, somehow McCaffrey's the only one who hasn't got hurt on that team, it seems like. For them to be competing for the NFC West in the final week of the season with the Seahawks is insane. Just insane. Hats off to Shanahan, CMC, and obviously, now Purdy is like playing at an MVP level at this point, he's looking like his best version of himself.
That was one of the best games I've seen him play, because, usually he be like Jordan Love sometime. You just waiting for him to just, that one ball, you'd be like, who the fuck are you throwing to? Mm-hmm. But I was thoroughly impressed with what he's doing. And you can finally see he's healthy. So I tell people all the time that some of these tough football players don't do themselves no justice, because when they're hurt or injured, they'll try to toughen it out thinking I'm going to be my best. And sometimes when you're trying to tough it out, whether you got a turf toe or a shoulder, you're not going to play your best. But clearly he's healthy right now. And I mean, how scary is that San Francisco offense, though? I mean, George Kittle's not – imagine George Kittle coming back. Caleb, I do want to go on the Caleb thing. He's starting to look like top 5 arm talent. I do think he just needs another gear. Like, he needs to learn to get a little bit more touch every now and then. I don't think he's close to Aaron Rodgers, though. Aaron Rodgers is – I've never seen anything at the height. Like, he's just – I mean – and still to this day, if you look at him play, he can make every throw on the football field at every level. But, man, I mean – Ben Johnson has been a savior to the Chicago Bears, because just the offense just looks legit. And that was a game where San Francisco wanted to take the running game away, and they still was able to produce 38 points. I mean, I'm excited. Listen, I'm going to tell you also, I'm excited for the playoffs. Outside of Seattle, I'm going to just ride that train because I've been on to Seattle. But literally, there's 5 teams that could go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC and the AFC this year. There's nobody that can sit down and say This team for sure looks like the most dominant. I don't know who the fuck is coming out of the NFC. I'm being
Mhm.
honest. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and the comparison. I'm not comparing. No one is close to Aaron Rodgers' arm talent, but it's like got that with Caleb Williams. It's got that vibes. Like, my God, there's not many dudes in the league who are making that throw,
Yeah.
and that's what really is just impressive. And he still has a long way to go in the sense of becoming more consistent and making better reads. But you can tell he's developing. It's taken a little
Sure.
bit longer than I think people thought because of his pedigree coming out of USC. But it's very clearly starting to stack up. And we're like I said, if nothing else, it seems like we're seeing more of those like wow jaw dropping throws on a weekly basis now. Like they're starting to stack those up, even though he's still like completing 50 to 60% of his passes and like missing the mark there. But you can tell he's improving. But I mean, I guess let's get into it now since we're talking about playoffs and 5 teams from the NFC could win the Super Bowl. Well, I can tell you one team from the NFC who probably won't be winning the Super Bowl that's going to be in the playoffs, and that's my Packers. I'm not saying the season is over with Green Bay. Um, I will say I never thought Micah Parsons and losing him would I never thought Micah Parsons could possibly hide so many flaws that he very clearly was hiding. That secondary, since he's been gone, awful. That defensive line without him, awful. Rashawn Gary, we talked about him. It's only getting worse with Rashawn Gary. He's now getting babied by receivers. He can't get off of a receiver blocking him. He still hasn't had a sack since October. He's due for 19 million next year. That's got to be gone.
Damn.
You got to get rid of his ass. He is a total flop, and that is where the problem is with Green Bay. General Manager Brian Gutekunst did not appropriately address the defensive line or cornerback rooms in recent years, and this is what you're seeing with it now. Like I said, Parsons covered this all up. Devontae Wyatt is our starting D tackle, and he's very, very mid. He's going to be 28 next season. He's only got like 16 career sacks, only like 21 run or like tackles for a loss. He's never developed into a good run defender. And then he gets hurt. Behind him, at defensive tackle, mind you, we got 2 converted defensive end who make for undersized defensive tackles. We don't got that like bull in a china shop type of dude that just eats up space by existing and runs stuff in machine. He doesn't exist on the Packers roster. So Devontae Wyatt, mind you, is the only guy that Brian Gutekunst has spent a top 100 pick on from a defensive tackle perspective. And it has been a position that we've needed to address. Cornerback-wise, it's only uglier, right? You take Jordan Morgan, who's actually kind of looking like he's figuring it out at right tackle a little bit at tackle. I think he's going to slide into a left tackle spot at the end of the season. We got guys, they're saying they're benching a lot of guys at the end of the year now. It's a useless game for Green Bay. They're already in, as bad as it looks, but my goodness, man. I mean, hey, Malik Willis, goated. Like you said earlier, he earned himself a bag this offseason. And now everyone's like, oh, is he better than Jordan Love? Look,
No.
he is not better than Jordan Love. He has a different skill set than Jordan Love as a runner. And it definitely unlocks something in the Matt LaFleur system that Jordan Love doesn't. And it seems to operate really smoothly. Even, Packers couldn't run for crap against the Ravens. Yet Malik Willis was doing his thing, and it just kind of works in the LaFleur system. He is not better than Jordan Love. Let's be perfectly clear. As good as he has looked, and I think a team is going to get themselves a starting quarterback. I don't think he should be competing for a job in camp. I think he should walk into a place where he is the guy. It's his job to lose in camp. Pay him some damn money. And the last thing is it's just so embarrassing. 307 yards on the ground you give up without Lamar even in the game. I don't care if you're hurt up and down the roster. I don't care if it's Derrick Henry. Y'all are grown-ass men in the NFL. 307 yards on the ground is embarrassing. I don't care if you're the second string or third game string. You are NFL players. And yeah, man, we had that little 4-game win streak, the Packers. And then ever since then, it's just been more injuries. Now they're going to be rolling in the playoffs with absolutely no momentum. They've gone entirely backwards in just about every way that I can think of at this point. And the only hope is I hope they just need to play the Eagles. We need them to play the Eagles. I want to play the Eagles. I feel confident we could actually beat the Eagles in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts as a passer. I am worried that, he's got some receivers that could get open on us, but I don't know. Well, I mean, you're on the Ravens side of this one, so
So listen, Austin, and don't get me wrong. I'm excited about the win, but that was a quality win for us.
Oh yeah.
Green Bay's not no chump team.
What?
They play hard. Listen. But see now, that's why I get mad, because we have a blueprint how the Ravens can win. And this don't matter if Lamar's at quarterback, Snoop Huntley's at quarterback, shit, they can put me at quarterback. We have a blueprint on how we can win. And the way we can win is run the football. If we got Derrick Henry, let's run him. And you go look at the last year playoff and the year before the playoff. What we're trying to do is turn Lamar into an MVP every game. And that's not how we're going to win. I'm being honest. If Lamar comes back and they want to try to throw 30 and 40 times a game, it's going to anger me, because this football shit is not hard. It's still blocking, running, and tackling. I don't care what nobody else say. Go look at the teams who are going to win. They can block,
They
they
win
can
in the
play
trenches.
defense, and they can run the football. Like, we're winning games against a Super Bowl team with Snoop Huntley because the OC is saying this guy is one of the greatest ever. Let's just see what he's gonna do if we give him the ball 35 times. And you see what he's gonna. When defenses get tired, you see what he did to, I don't know what corner that
Carrington Valentine, he
you talk
baby
about
back
him all
bitched
year,
him.
yeah. But he does
Baby
that
back
to
bitched him.
everybody though. He does that to that is who Derrick Henry is. I'm just gonna be upset next week or in the playoff if Lamar comes back and we just want to get past happy and just want to. We don't have those receivers anymore. We don't have that offense, and just 20 times a game, Snoop was efficient. He didn't make any mistakes, no fumble. Please just turn around and hand the ball to King Henry until he say, no more. I'm done. And then when he does that, guess what you do? You just fucking run Lamar. Don't keep letting him drop back and try to. Man, Austin, I'm going to be pissed if we try to get Lamar to be MVP when he comes back. Because, I mean, it's easy. It's real easy to win.
How are you taking all the people like, oh, maybe Lamar gets traded this offseason? How are you taking that one?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, Austin, some people do crack in this world. So, you know, I know this. I know it's some people that just does perk pills every day, you know, and sometimes even they're smoking like the best weed in the world. People need to stop it. Baltimore, Snoop Huntley is okay, but we're not letting our franchise guy go. Trust me. And not only that, he's just an imprint in the community. Like I said, I stay in Maryland. I know what he is into the community in Baltimore. They'll never let that out the door because he just means so much to the city. Now, I do think he's going to have to change his game. He's going to have to get better. No more excuses for you, Lamar. I'm just being honest. We winning with Snoop. So, but
100%.
Yeah, people just need to stop fucking smoking crack, Austin. They're not trading.
I don't think it ever happens. And I think the only way it even is it becomes a sniff of a actually real conversation is the Dolphins come up with the trade package of the gods that the Ravens would be the dumbest organization in the world to deny and turn down. That's the only way. That's the only spot he would go.
That's the greatest trade package ever. That's like 5 ones. I mean, it just because they don't have players that we would want. It would literally have to be like 5-1.
It'd have to be Jalen Waddle. It'd have to be. It'd have to be anything that if you take away from the Dolphins, like why would Lamar even want to be there then? And you know that the Dolphins, Miami is the only spot that he would even consider given like his hometown stuff. But yeah, man, to seal it up on this Packers Ravens game though, like there was a Clayton Tune, our third string. How bad are the Packers injured? Third string quarterback comes in first series and he throws an interception to our sixth string quarterback.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Who goes, why do I have to watch footballs go through Bo Melton's hands, the Packers' sixth string quarterback, when Matthew freaking Golden is on the roster catching everything in the 7 passes he's been given this year, and you use a first-round pick on him, and yet freaking Bo Melton is the one getting targets with the game on the line.
Yeah, I don't be getting that. But I don't get that though, Austin. I'd be like, y'all practice. Y'all know who y'all good guys are. In this moment, I can't throw him the ball. I'm forcing my guys the ball. I don't care about the coach. Don't give me no read. I'm just getting in the game. I'm the third string. I got to throw it to somebody that I think is going to make a play. I just got to put it. So I never get when quarterbacks do that. Like,
I mean, it's more
why you
so the
throwing it to
fact
him?
that like Matthew Golden's been nothing but catch everything and be effective when the ball's in his hands, and then you're lucky to see him twice a game, any game. And you seen Bo Melton on my screen. I'm seeing Bo Melton on my screen more than I see in my
Way
first
too
round
much.
rookie
Yeah,
wide
way too
receiver.
much.
And I don't understand it. It's a fireable offense in itself, which is the other thing is like now the whole fan base is like, well, fire Gutekunst, fire LaFleur. And I think if the Packers, because under LaFleur, right, the Packers have only made the last three times the Packers have made the playoffs, it's been as the 7th seed, which didn't even exist until 2020. They haven't been better than a 7th seed with Jordan Love. The whole identity for them in the playoffs has just been a one and done type of reputation with LaFleur. They're just a mediocrely good team that's never a great team. And so without that extra, like the playoff format changing to add a team, they would have missed their last 3 playoffs. Like that's kind of where they're at. They're one and done. And I think if that happens again, regardless of the fact that everyone's hurt on this team, I think it's we're now in a very real territory of like the GM and coach are going to have everything come under a microscope. I think LaFleur walks out of it. I don't think the GM does because again, the failure in the first round for the Green Bay Packers is haunting them on a yearly basis. 2 top 15 picks on project edge rushers with limited pass rush moves, right? Now Gary's a flop. He's probably gone this offseason. Lucas Van Ness actually had a really good game against the Ravens, but we're talking about Lucas Van Ness's best game of his career, and he didn't even have a sack. That's where we're at with that one. And then he's totally neglected the cornerback rooms, made bad decisions. We go get Nate Hobbs. You know what's funny? They traded Nate Hobbs. They didn't trade for him. They went out and signed Nate Hobbs from the Raiders. And in turn, we let Eric Stokes go, who signed with the Raiders. And now Eric Stokes is having a top 20 graded cornerback season while Nate Hobbs like doesn't even deserve a roster spot.
I'm not taking
That's where we're
nobody
at.
from I'm not taking nobody from the fucking Raiders team. So that's just, I'm telling
bad, man.
somebody should be fired for that because they couldn't call me. Only Max Crosby's the only person that I would ever take off that team.
Well, let's stay with the Raiders then really quick because they officially win the toilet bowl they win the toilet bowl by losing to the Giants, who were both competing for the first overall pick. The Giants blew them out of the building. So now the Raiders are officially the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. They're still an absolute mess. Their roster is a mess. Max Crosby, Genty, Bowers is pretty much it. That is what you got. And so they are so far away from being a competitive team still. A rookie quarterback, right? Everyone's talking. They're going to get the first pick. They're going to get Mendoza or more. A rookie quarterback is not saving this. A rookie quarterback's going to come in and have hell in front of him. He's going to have a tough, very tough rookie season. So what do? Do they pick at 1? Do they trade back and then, maybe draft a quarterback, at pick 3 or 4 after accumulating more picks? Or do they trade back and sign a vet quarterback like a Mac Jones or a Malik Willis and go out and, like I said, trade back and add more something else than quarterback? Because, again, they have so much to do. So if you're sitting in the Raiders spot, you're a GM. How are you kind of approaching that first overall pick right now?
First, I would fire Pete Carroll. That'd be the first thing. I would get him the fuck up out of there. Secondly, I would build the roster because I just don't think these quarterbacks this year, like it's a big separation between Mendoza, Moore, and even next year or Archie Manning or whoever comes out next year. So I would do what Houston did a few years, trade back, go and get a pass rusher because clearly that's working out for them. They end up getting the quarterback that they wanted. They got a legit Pro Bowler. So I got to build my roster. That Raiders need more. I'm trading back to the highest bidder to get me more picks. Granted, this is not a big receiver because I think they need another receiver. But I also still think they need somebody on the line to help Max Crosby, maybe a DB.
You can keep going down. They're gonna
that's why I say
they need everything.
I would build a roster. I would try to go get. Now I would stay away from trying to go get. I think a Malik Willis it costs too much.
But
I would ride Geno Smith out for one more year because I just think
he's not even benched.
But they're going to pay it. They're paying him. I just think gone. I think a Malik Willis will cost too much. A Mac Jones will cost too much. And you got to just think years down the line, you want to keep building the roster with a rookie quarterback who can get the job done. So I'll wait one more year before I go get my quarterback. Because like I said, Archie's coming out. Ty Simpson may be coming out next year. It's going to be a lot of guys
No,
that's
Ty Simpson's
staying.
this year.
A lot of guys that's going to stay. So I would stay away from the quarterback.
Well, here's where we're at now. I personally am a proponent that they go and make a move to get Malik Willis. If you go again with Geno Smith or Kenny Pickett at quarterback because you trade back and you lose Mendoza or more, you're screwed. The Jets have 2 first-round picks this year. They're at pick 3. I'm of the camp that the Giants will not be drafting a quarterback. Now, Joe Schoen, who the hell knows with this guy? The fans can't trust him. And so you really don't know what he's going to do. And again, Dart is not his guy. But again, like you said, Mendoza or Moore are the prized possession at quarterback this draft. But in most other draft classes, they're not a number 1 or 2 quarterback. In a majority of other draft classes, they're not the top 2 quarterbacks. That's the thing. They're both very good. That's not to take away from their talent. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm trading back to the Jets, pick 3, because if the Jets, I'm thinking, they're maybe thinking like, well, maybe the Giants will get their quarterback and they're going to take the guy we want. So I find a way to work the deal with the Jets to move down to 3, acquire enough picks, or maybe both of those, number pick 3, and what is it right now? Pick third pick. I don't know what their other pick is right now. 18 right now. I would go out and acquire those 2 things, move back 2 spots, and if you want, you can still get a quarterback probably. Again, I think Mendoza or Moore will be there at pick 3. And I don't think there's much of a difference. I think Mendoza, I think Tom Brady is going to be a Mendoza fan. I think he's more reminiscent.
Of him.
Yeah, he's more reminiscent of Tom Brady as from a personality standpoint, from just a play style standpoint. So I think if they got a guy, it's going to be Mendoza. I think Moore is awesome. It's a tight one. But if I'm the Raiders and I'm pick 1, I am trading back to the Jets at pick 3. I'm going to get Malik Willis because what Malik Willis is putting on tape right now deserves a start on a handful of football teams, Raiders being one of them.
For sure.
He is showing you that his usage of his legs is as dangerous as it gets. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but you watched how good Malik Willis is on his feet. He can break a lot of tackles. He's insanely fast, and he can make some really good throws across the whole field. He's come to Green Bay, and he is developed into what everyone thought he would be. He's still a super high character guy. Again, if you remember during the combine, and he was out there, helping a homeless person out, just like someone caught it on tape. Very high character guy, so that's going to land anywhere with any coach. And again, I think Pete Carroll's gone as well. I would trade back to 3. I would get Malik Willis, and then right there, I would go and get receiver. I would get who's the cat out of why am I blanking on his name? The Arizona State guy. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
I'm going to
maybe Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate would be a great pick there.
If Bain is there at 3, I'm going to get him. I need somebody to help with Max Crosby. That, like I said, we can put him inside with Max. I'll wait to that 18th pick. If they trade with the Jets, I'll wait to the 18th pick for a receiver. Yeah, because it's going to be somebody. I think receiver and running back are like 2 positions that you can get good guys no matter where you're at in the draft. If you got a good eye, you can get a good receiver or running back.
I think Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson are just an echelon above the rest of this class. Mekhi Lemon is right there too from USC. So I think if you get one of those guys at 3, you're getting the best receiver in the class in your eyes, and both of them seem like they have better than like I think that's T. Higgins plus from either of them is like what you're going to get out of Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson. And so that's what I would do. And the argument against it is, in this case, is like, well, if the Bears wouldn't have drafted Caleb Williams and they went out and drafted a defensive guy, would they be where they're sitting right now? Not even close. So that's like the argument against it. And I don't know.
But they can't say that because Caleb was shit without Ben Johnson. So first you got to find your coach. That's what you got to find the coach, because I don't care who you get. That's why I think Geno Smith is serviceable if you get a good coach. I don't think he's a guy that can carry the franchise. He's a guy that needs a Shanahan that can tailor the offense to his strengths. Because he's just not fucking the greatest, but he's one of those guys who had a bounce back season like Sam Darnold, him, and Baker Mayfield. That's why I'm happy for Malik Willis too, because that was a guy that was drafted high, had a bad with the Jets, but then bounced back in Seattle. So I just think he's a guy, a system guy, that holds you over for one more year, and it won't hurt you to go 4-13 again. It won't
Or
hurt you.
are you going to keep Geno and still draft Mendoza more than at 1? Because you
No,
have to.
no,
You
no.
need to get a guy in the system right away to sit as a backup and be ready to take over midway. Geno Smith is in his mid-30s.
I
If you
want
were
to
still
tank
leaving
one more year, though. We 2-3 years away. I got to tank for one more year. So if I think he's bad, I'm going to tank with this guy.
I just don't think you can do that. I mean, that's pathetic levels of organizational management. If that's your plan, is to like, well, if you go into the season with Geno Smith as your presumed starter, that fan base is gonna raise hell.
Has anything the Raiders has done in the 30 years that say that they know how to run an organization? And I know before your time they was winning with John Madden and them, but I'm talking in your lifetime.
Before your time.
That's why I say there's no Davis that's ever showed you that they know what they're doing. So trust me, they need to build for the future. Cause listen, y'all, they're a lot away. So like I said, they can use another first pick for one more year.
I mean, yeah, they are a lot away. That's why I'm trading it back. I'm trading to the Jets, getting 2 first-round picks, and figuring out what my plan is at quarterback. But either way, I think they should trade back and acquire another first-rounder. I think if you go with the 3 with the Jets, you're in a beautiful spot to still do what you need to do at quarterback. Mendoza or Moore or another guy, and you pick up another first-rounder because you need it. You are still so far away. And then, yeah, I think, at that point, you're looking at like a Denzel Boston or a Casey Concepcion from A&M or another really good receiver option. I'm kind of out on Ruben Payton right now. His lack of a secondary pass rush, and he's kind of one of those weird tweener sizes where he's too big to be like an outside edge guy, but he's too small to be like a more 3-tech type of guy. He's a freak. He's explosive as hell, but he's just a power guy. I really
you gotta take a chance on that, though.
Arvell Reese might be. I think Arvell Reese's upside and instant impact is more worth it.
Arvell's a little too small. Arvell's a little too small for me. He can't do everything, but you got to think in the NFL, a good middle is not a game changer.
Well, he's a pass rusher. He can rush the passer. You know who reminds me of?
Micah Parsons isn't a guy that you gonna win the Super Bowl with. That's my only thing. Jalen Carter's, those inside guys are guys, and I think gaining weight is easy, especially if I just think he's gonna be a guy that they move inside, add a little, but you got to take a chance on a guy who's so explosive, who's he's got dog in him. Dog. So you gotta take a chance on him. I'm with you. I don't think he's an edge guy. I like I said, I think he's more 3 technique than anything. But he's a little small.
He's like 275.
Or he could probably gain 20. And you gotta think an NFL strength conditioning nutritionist. He'll put that on in the summer. If he's working hard, I just think you can't pass him up.
He's a freak.
You can't pass him up. You see what Jalen Carter did after all these people passed him up because he had a little trouble, driving his fucking Cherokee too fast. But if they had to do it over again, people would have said, "Shit, we'll take the risk because he's that dominant." So
okay. I get it. All right, well, let's keep it moving on the dominant track then. The MVP race is kind of at the finale. We know what it is now. It's a 2-man race between Matt Stafford and Drake Maye. So let's put in our final bets for MVP. I'll let you go first. Who's winning the MVP this year and why?
Matt Stafford. I mean, let's be clear. And Drake Maye is having an awesome year. But 30 touchdowns to 40 touchdowns and 5 picks is 30-7. And 40-5 is a big difference. And we're talking about Stafford is doing it late in his career. Drake Maye's doing it early. So I just think it's way more impressive what Matt Stafford is doing. And like I said, 10 more touchdowns is way bigger. So I'm going with Matt Stafford. And just I think Drake Maye gets a little bit more credit than he deserves. Let's be clear. Josh McDaniels is a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel is an awesome coach. And granted, McVay is one of the greatest play callers ever. I get that too, but I just think Stafford is way more impressive. Way more impressive than what he's doing.
I agree. I'm also going to take Matt Stafford as the MVP for this season. It's tough though, because if you want to look at the rosters, if we want to do the roster coaching thing, Drake Maye is so much more valuable to the Patriots than Matt Stafford is to the Rams. I mean, let's be clear with he's got maybe the best offensive coach in football. He's got 2 all-world wide receivers with Nakua and Adams. He's got an elite run game. He's got a great offensive line. He's got a great defense. That Rams team is loaded this year. On the Patriots side of the ball, right, the best thing Maye is thrown to is an old Stephon Diggs at this point, and a bunch of kind of just whatever guys at receiver at this point. You know, they got some potential in there. I mean, they didn't have a run game until halfway through the season, which is crazy. Once Travion Henderson comes on, and like I said, so May's going to finish this season with as the only quarterback with a 70% completion percentage or higher. So he's just been efficient and locked down as all hell. He's got the best mark for completion percentage over expected. He's tops in QBR and rating, and he's top 3 in yards and touchdown passes. He does kind of still take too many sacks. The offensive line isn't great. And here's the only thing that's really going to hold down Drake Maye. Their strength of schedule got rated as the 10th easiest strength of schedule in NFL history. And that's going to hurt you. And if that's the case, you better be blowing everybody away in every category from a passing perspective, which he's not. He's at the top of pretty much everything. But like you said, Stafford's got more touchdowns, less interceptions. He's right there like neck and neck in terms of yards and their rating, whatnot. So, and then the only thing for Stafford then where he's in trouble is, like I said, with the roster, what he's got around him, he's definitely lower in completion percentage. Stafford is 15th in completion percentage, and he's got far more. He's got a far worse bad throw percentage than Maye does this season. But the only thing for Stafford then, if we're going to keep doing this, is that he's had the most dominant stretch of football of any person from any position this season when he went on that 28 consecutive touchdown pass streak without an interception, which passes Tom Brady's 25 straight that he set in 2010. And so it's so neck and neck right now where I think the award has to come down to, all right, what is the MVP award then? I think if you want to look from a roster perspective, Drake Maye is more valuable to the Patriots roster than Stafford is the Rams. But
I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to die on this hill, and I'm going to keep saying it. I know. Clip this up. Stafford makes Puka Nacua better than he really is. I think Stephon Diggs at his best is a 5 times better receiver than Puka Nacua.
What a great signing that was. An amazing signing.
I don't think Puka is that good. That's why I really gives Matt What has Cooper Kupp done since he left Matt Stafford?
You like saying that one? I don't know. It's like you miss every time Puka makes some insane contested catch because he does a lot of those.
Listen,
he does get schemed open a lot, though. He does get schemed open a lot.
And one thing that I understand, there is no defense for a perfect pass. Let's be clear. Matt Stafford is one of the surgicalest quarterback ever. He makes Puka is not fast. He's not. I don't see what to me and people. I think they say they got the better offense, and to me, no, because I mean Devontae's old.
He still catches everything though.
Yeah, but I looked at the New England tight ends they got. They got some good guys over there, and once again, I just still think Stephon Diggs at his peak is better than what Puka Nacua is, because Puka Nacua is all McVay and Stafford. I just don't think he's good. I don't think he's top 10 talent in the NFL.
I mean, I get what you're saying in that sense because he does get schemed open a lot. But again, he catches everything. Like every contested catch, he makes some phenomenal catch. And he's just hard as hell to bring down. He's hard to bring down. That's how he picks up so many extra yards. But I'm going to what you just kind of said, with Stafford being so incredible. I don't know how there's still a debate out there around if Matt Stafford's gonna be a Hall of Famer or not. I don't know. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah,
his career is missing one accolade. It's that MVP award. The MVP award is a narrative-driven award, and that's why I'm giving it. That's my edge to Stafford, is because when you think about Stafford's career arc, to the point on he's on the final leg of his journey now. He finally got the Super Bowl, and the only thing, like I said, is missing from his career is that MVP accolade. As incredible as Drake Maye has been, the easiest schedule since 2000, since before 2000. That's saying something. He didn't like blow away Stafford, and then the narrative just works better for Stafford's like whole arc to where he is now, final leg, last accolade, lock up that debate on the gold jacket for him or not, first
Yeah,
ballot.
anybody saying he's not a Hall of Famer is a fucking
Talk
doof.
about,
Like
yeah,
y'all saying Eli is going to be a Hall of Fame. And listen, Troy Aikman, yes, they won 3 Super Bowls, but he retired at 33. He
it's a running
doesn't
team
have,
too.
yeah, he doesn't have the stats that
No,
Come on, Matt Stafford is a
a
first
Hall of Famer.
ballot.
Yeah,
He's top 5 greatest quarterbacks ever. Like, come
yeah,
on, like y'all got to stop
he's
that
up
shit.
there.
Like,
Yep.
some of these people need to stop fucking talking.
That's what I think. That's what it came down to me is just I think May is kind of going to edge out on the stat line this year comparatively. Even though Stafford's got him on a few things, but the narrative, it's a big narrative award, and the narrative fits better with Stafford, and that's where I'm going to land on that one. All right, last NFL thing before we go quick into an NBA thing. The Lions and the Buccaneers both started the season as big Super Bowl odds. They are both trucking early in the year, and both have gone on a total collapse. Right, the Buccaneers started 6-2, and now they're 7-9, fighting for their life on the last week of the season. Meanwhile, the Lions just got booted out of the playoffs by freaking Max Brosmer, quarterbacking for the Vikings. That's a bad. So, which team do you say that was the bigger collapse, bigger letdown, given how kind of things were starting and how we know they were projected to be?
Easy the Lions. Listen, nobody outside of Tampa ever thought the Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl. I don't care what the odds say. Nobody came into this year saying, hey, Baker's going to win the Super Bowl this year. But NFC Championship game that they should have won last year, everybody was saying, hey, Detroit Lions, they have a 2-year window now. Clearly that window's closed. Dan Campbell needs to be fired. He is a horrendous coach, Austin. I know I'm being honest. And I've been on record for years now saying I don't like him. All that aggressive shit sounds good. He's a terrible play caller. He blew
Offense
that
got better
game.
with him there, though. Offense has been better since he's taken over.
No, they've been better because they got tremendous talent.
Hmm.
He had 2 possessions that he could have kicked field goals just this Sunday that he didn't do when you know your offense is struggling, and it's not going to take a lot of points to beat a fucking Vikings team who can't get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Just to me, going in this game, I'm taking every point that I can get because I understand it's not going to take much to beat this team. I just think Dan Campbell, that gambling shit, he's a horrible coach. He's a horrible coach. They need to fire him. If not, they're going to have one more year with this roster, and then they're back to the old Detroit Lions. So you better get somebody in there soon because Jared Goff got one more good year in him. They're not going to be able to keep everybody together. So the Detroit Lions, clearly, this is the worst. But we said it at the beginning of the year. Losing Ben Johnson and your boy over there who's actually not that – he's not a good head coach. So he probably need to carry his ass back and be a DC.
Yeah.
But we said it at the beginning of the year. That's going to hurt them bad. But, man, their fall off is terrible. Nobody would have guessed that they wouldn't make the playoffs. Nobody would have guessed off. Yeah. So, but Tampa, I didn't think Baker Mayfield was going to win a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's why I got to agree with the Lions thing. Like, they were projected to be in the Super Bowl this year, and now they're not even in the playoffs. The Buccaneers, like, they started insane, right? Baker, when they're 6-2, we're talking about Baker Mayfield as the MVP, right? And then they go 7-9, and he goes from MVP to now he can't even throw a touchdown. Emeka Ibuka goes from a sure bet to win Rookie of the Year to like, are we sure he's even on the roster anymore? Bucky Irving starts the year looking like he's going to have his breakout season already because he's incredible. And then he gets hurt and he comes back. And it's like now they don't even give him the ball. He doesn't get the ball inside the red zone, even though his whole thing is like being able to break tackles. Like horrible coaching decisions up and down the spectrum for them. The Buccaneers are going to like they're 18th right now in points per game. They're 22nd in yards. So they've just fallen off. But yeah, in terms of like what this season started as, they weren't supposed to be Super Bowl favorites like the Lions. And the Bucs could still make the playoffs. And even if they don't, like the Lions got booted out of the playoffs before the Buccaneers did, but that's because the Buccaneers division is trash, and at the top everyone's trash. So they're 7-9 and they could still win the division with a losing record. That's how trash that division is.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And I agree with you. The Lions, they go from obviously Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to now their new offensive coordinators giving up play calling duties midway through the season, and their defense has just been a liability and underperformed all year round. The defense has just severely cost this team, and the offense struggles at times, but right now they're still finishing in top 3 in points per game, so I'll give them that, and they're also top 5 in yards per game. Like, I was also a big Dan Campbell, like, all this dude does is teach you how to and tell you to go bite kneecaps, and he gets way over aggressive. He doesn't actually call plays. So now that he's doing it, I'll give him credit. They've still done pretty damn good in terms of like the offensive play calling. You try to run up their numbers pre and post him calling. It's a little bit better. But again, 1-7 when Jahmyr Gibbs has 3.5 yards per carry or less. He was held under that mark for the last 3 games, and they lost all 3 of those. And what I can't figure out is why the lack of David Montgomery this season. It seems like it's noticeable change how much he's not involved in the offense compared to the last couple of years where it was unstoppable when you're more evenly balanced between him and Gibbs. Obviously, Gibbs is ascending into a superstar and you want to feed him the ball more, but it's become a little bit too one-dimensional as a run game, and you can see that that's definitely hurt them offensively. So, yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with the Lions because they had the Super Bowl expectations, and now they're not in the playoffs. Buccaneers are just dog shit.
Which I want to see Carolina in the playoffs. So,
Me too.
Damn, Carolina, get it done this weekend.
Please.
Like, don't be no duds, man.
Please.
Goodness grief. Which something in me say they're not going to get it done because just losers lose. But I want to see Carolina in. I don't want to see Tampa in. I want to see Carolina in. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Damn shame how Liam Cohen played out with for the Buccaneers. They ended up with Todd Bowles and just and now talking about the Jags as they might be looking at one of the future kind of teams for the AFC as the Bucs are in shambles. All right, last thing, let's go over to the NBA. Let's get a little bit weird for a second here. As we kind of prefaced, Nikola Jokic is having what is being talked about as potentially one of the most dominant seasons in history, not just from center, but from any player ever. And of course, he's a lot of numbers getting paired to this or that in terms of the dominance, and he's better than. So we got to go Shaq versus Jokic. Who has the more dominant peak? You want to start?
Rob Parker would say, "Is this thing on? Is this thing on, Austin?" And I know you might have seen the Phoenix Suns Shaq. You might have seen the Boston Celtics Shaq.
I saw some Heat.
You even seen the tail end Heat Shaq.
I did.
I remember excuse my French, the motherfucking backboard breaking Orlando Magic 3-peat averaging third. Listen, and I love Kobe, but those 3 championships were Shaq championships. And then you get this, Nikola Jokic. Listen, Austin, I hate this fucking argument because we're not saying who's the most skilled. And even then, let's be clear, Shaq used to bring the ball up in Orlando with Anthony Hardaway. We're not talking about who's the dominant. Fucking Nikola Jokic can't even jump over a nickel. We're talking about Shaq.
Doesn't need to.
No, but we talking about Shaq has a picture in the NBA Finals. This is not a regular season game. This is not a first round game. NBA Finals where he's dunking on the whole New Jersey Nets team. We're talking about there's 5 defenders in the picture, Austin. Please tell me, has Nikola Jokic played against a Patrick Ewing?
Nope.
Has Nikola Jokic played against a David Robinson?
Nope.
No. Has Nikola Jokic dominated one of the greatest defending centers in history, and Dikembe Mutombo is known for fucking defense? Shaq made him look like a midget with big feet. He barbecue fucking chicken. Hey, listen, Austin, I'm being honest. I'm just getting excited about this because this is not in the same sentence. Y'all, and I'm not taking anything away from Nikola Jokic, but we're talking about dominance.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about skilled. I do think he's one of the skilledest big man ever. But if he played against Shaq, he wouldn't do this shit on offense because Shaq would back his soft, no slow ass down and dunk on him 101. Austin.
Well, look, I will first of all agree with you on if you put Shaq and Jokic in the paint, Shaq's going to put him in the dirt 100 times out of 100. I absolutely, 100, not even going to try to argue that one. But what I will say is Jokic is going to win and beat Shaq in every other aspect of the game. And what you're saying is, well, he's just more skilled. But like, how is that not also translated to he's also more dominant? Yeah, sure, he won't get a single point in the paint, but just take it out to the 3-point arc and he'll just go whap on Shaq every time. Like, look, I again, being to me, the way I see this is being physically unstoppable around the hoop or just outside the paint, because, let's just take most of his career, right, is not the same as outright dominance in every facet of the game and like one historic levels of efficiency. Like, you can say it's like he's more skilled, but at the same point, is it not more dominant if you are averaging a triple-double? That makes you pretty. If you can't look, the Nuggets are a talented.
No,
listen,
Austin,
hold up. He's got a higher points per game than Shaq's best season. He's got a higher rebounds per game than Karl Malone's best season. He's got a higher assist per game than Jason Kidd's best season. That is a Hall of Fame distributor. I'm going to keep going too. He's got a higher field goal percentage than Mr. Fundamentals Duncan's best season. It's tied with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's at 60%. And his player efficiency rating this season is the best in history. And, he just pass Shaq for second most games ever with 30-plus points on 85+% shooting. And now he only trails Wilt. So look, and it's not just like, well, someone's, it's like the Cardinals argument. Well, someone's got to shoot the ball. The Nuggets have a very good team this year. They have actually been really hurt. Even Jokic just got kind of banged up. All their starters are kind of getting hurt. But as their starters are going down, Jokic is just willing this team back to the top of the West by himself. That is outright dominance. And he wouldn't win in the paint against Shaq, but he would win everything else.
No,
and the stats are there. The numbers are there. He does everything.
You do know Shaq was a dominant defender too. At one point, he was averaging 3 blocks. So they're already letting you know what's more dominant than saying you don't have any ability to stop me from getting on this block, getting the ball to me, and me turning around and fucking dunking on you 40 times a game. And you're a good stat guy. You're one of the best at this stat shit. You know as well as I know that the offense efficiency is more in today's NBA. Let's be clear. There's more threes. He's taking way more threes.
Different game.
And so you know as well as I know there's more possessions in today's game. Is a faster game. Not only Shaq played with Kobe Bryant, one of the black holes of the NBA. When the ball get to Kobe, he's not passing it back out. So let's be clear. Listen, I'm telling you, Austin, I would have loved for you to see the 01 Shaq.
I've seen the highlights. I love the highlights.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. No.
That's all I got, though.
Yes, you had to be there to understand. We watched Shaq in Orlando to see how many backboards this guy was going to fucking break when he came in the league. Like, dominance is, you know what I'm going to do, but you still can't stop it. Nikola Jokic, yes, he's a stretch 5. Everybody's a stretch 5 now. And he doesn't play any defense, so I can beat his guy.
His defense is better. His defense is that is the thing. The narrative around his defense has always been that it sucks. The last 2 years, it's gotten better, and this year it's the best. And I get what you're saying, but what is more dominant than a triple-double as the 5? And when you are coming off a season where you average a triple-double, the third time it's ever happened for a season, and you only get better? Are you kidding me? Like, I would take that peak knowing that you can do everything for me at any spot on the court. Like you said, yeah, he knows Shaq's going to back him down and dunk on him every time, but let me just go from the top of the paint and just whap a 3. Jokic has a higher 3-point percentage than Larry Bird's career best right now. Is that not insane for a 5?
No, because fucking Larry Bird is overrated. He's a big Larry Bird is a big name.
As a hooper, as a shooter?
Listen, we can go down that rabbit hole if you want to another time. Larry Bird is overrated. He's just bigger in the name, and Magic made him what he is. So let's be clear. I don't think Larry Bird is as great as that.
I'll take Magic. I'll take Magic
So
in
that's
that
what
one.
I'm saying. But I just, and granted, like I said, I'm not taking away from Nikola Jokic game. What he's doing, we've never seen from a guy so big and fucking slow. Yes, he's a great passer. Yes, he can shoot the three. But when we're talking about dominance, is if I know what you're gonna do and we still can't stop it, you got to look. Jokic only get his offense off in a good pick and roll game with Jamal Murray because we understand this defense can't sag off. When you got Jamal Murray as your guy that you're running pick and roll with, come on. It wasn't no pick and roll with Shaq. Give me the ball down here, and I don't care who's behind me. Give it to me. I'm going to turn around, I'm going to dunk this shit, then I'm going to go down the other end, and if you come down here, I'm going to block that shit.
I just feel like you're minimizing dominance to like physical prowess and capability. When I feel like we could,
I don't know if anybody can see it, but I got the Superman on my
are you
chest.
showing off your titties right now?
No.
Oh
I
my
got
god,
the Superman
Iman's
on my
titties are
chest.
out on cam. We got.
Listen, but you know why I got that though, Austin.
The Superman.
You know why I got that?
Big Shaq.
Big Shaq. Big to walk around like I got the S on my chest. No, that's a semi-auto with a vest on my chest. That's 50. But that me and Shaq are Superman. Big cactus. Listen, Shaq is one of my favorite. Him and Kobe. Like, just I wasn't a Jordan fan. Jordan is the greatest, but I wasn't a Jordan fan. I am a Houston Rockets, but a Shaq and Kobe, Charles Barkley, big fan. Like, literally, like I don't even like people trying to compare Jokic with Shaq, because if you ask me, it's disrespectful that people don't put Shaq in the top 5 players of all time.
Well, I think I don't think Jokic is above Shaq as a top player all time. No, absolutely not. We're talking about like whose peak of dominance would you rather have on your basketball
It's not close. If we're talking about peak, it's not Shaq's peak. Austin, go look at Shaq's peak 01, 02. It's not fucking close. That guy was just unbelievable, man. And you understand, they made the hacker Shaq because they couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
They had to hacker Shaq because they could not stop that man. Jokic, Iverson, and Shaq made the league change because they was just too much.
Well, that's fair. And on the flip side of that coin is the league is the players, the way they've developed and the game is developed is like at a whole different type of echelon in terms of athleticism, what dudes are doing right now. And Jokic is on top of that in the league where so many dudes have not been this talented. The game has not moved this fast. Jokic is at the top of that. Sure, Shaq and AI changed the game, but now the game has been changed, and sitting at the top of that throne is Jokic of a game that's evolved into something which is a bunch of freaks, 7'6" Wembies out there doing their thing. But yeah, I don't know.
I hate to say it, and this is your guy. The closest to the dominance of Shaq or who he is, knowing that I'm going to do it, is it's only one, Greek Freak.
Yeah,
he's the only one that's closest to. We know what you're gonna do, and we still can't stop that shit. It's like fuck. And I think Giannis is a better defender than Shaq was at his peak. Giannis is a way better defender because he can defend at the top of the key. So I only think there's one guy in this era this close to dominant, and it's the Greek Freak.
Yep. And Greek Freak could go back into the 90s and still be this good, still be this dominant. He could go hang with the Mutombos and the Patrick Ewings and the Charles Barkleys and the Prime Shaqs, and still his game would translate. It's amazing now. It would translate back when it was bully ball. He was made for bully ball. When you were talking about Shaq, I was thinking, you're just talking to me about Giannis right now. That's all I'm hearing is Giannis talk. And I love Giannis talk.
Yeah, and he's the best. He's the most dominant in the game right now. It's like you know what he's gonna do, and you can't do shit about it.
I might be biased, but Giannis doesn't get enough MVP credit. He should still be above SGA and Jokic. I don't care. That's just me, though. I'm biased. All right. We had to get through that. I'm glad we did. We got nipples coming out in the arguments, too. And
I just had to show y'all my tattoo, man. I'm telling you, it's the Superman on my chest. Hey,
beautiful. Beautiful.
You know, and listen, it's AI up here, and I got the Superman on my chest. AI, Malcolm, And that's I ain't gonna tell you about that.
Just
but
looks like booty up there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you about that one. But Shaq is I got the Superman on my chest. I'm telling you, man. It's
all right.
So
all right. I love it. All right. Hey, that's another episode of Chalk Talk Social. We got the year-end episode coming up. We're gonna try and figure out who the fan of the year is and see if we can get the fan of the year to come on the episode with us. We'll pick our favorite conversation or whatever. We'll figure out a criteria for it and get our very first ever fan of the year in the couple months that we've been alive. So next time we talk to you, I think we're going to be in the new year.
And 2026, man.
We're going to be 2026. And from the bottom of my heart to anyone who's still listening and has listened throughout, I greatly, greatly appreciate you coming along for the journey as we try to build a community around this show and Sidelinr sports in general. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we're talking sports. We're carrying the fan voice on our platform. We're not just talking about it. We talk about the Cardinals and Panthers more than any platform in the world, I'm pretty sure. That's not a homer account. So we're just listening to what the fans are saying. We're having the debates y'all are having because that's what this whole thing is about. And then we're having fans come on. So tell more, get involved, come on the show, talk to us. Thank you for everything. We'll see you in 2026.